Hello there and good day. This is your lovable Jaina recording you another video. This one will be about my technical first time presenting in public. I have another one where I talk about presenting in public on July 4, but this one actually happened over 14 years ago. I don't usually consider it my first time presenting because of the situation, and I wasn't sure of my gender identity at the time, but it's a fun story. And it ties into the second story I have, which is more of a comedic situation. Alright, so I was about 17 or 18 years old, and I was with my beloved cousin Chelsea. She passed away in 2016. She was non-binary, and she taught me a lot about loving others and loving yourself, no matter how much you hate yourself. So I would stay with her for over 2 weeks at a time. Oh yes, the joys of youth. Endless sleepovers. So we'd stay together. I'd stay with her, and like we'd play Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 together and talk about her like mental difficulties, like her conditions. She was diagnosed with severe depression, and I was undiagnosed, but of course on the autism spectrum, I was very troubled. But I confessed to her, like, yeah, I do like dressing up in women's clothes in private. Like, she was the only person in life who knew at that time. So she's like, let's dress up, let's go out. I'm like, let's do it. So that was the very first time I shaved my body hair. So she brought her friend over, Susan, and like we spent like 3 hours shaving my body hair. It took forever because I didn't know what I was doing, and she was trying to teach me, and I learned a lot of basics, but yeah, we shaved my entire body, of course, except for my hair, and that was like really fun. Ooh, I have a low battery warning, so I gotta speed this along. So yeah, we spent the entire day getting ready. Then I raided Susan's closet, and it was actually like nothing but like goth punk wear, so it was kind of silly. It's not my kind of fashion. I've always been a girly girl, and I like cute, soft, colorful things, but I was totally out of my element, but it didn't matter because I was wearing, you know, female clothing, and we went out in public, and I was nervous as hell. Like, I already had crippling social anxiety. I don't know how I did it, but I had strength and I tapped into it, and we went out, and based on the nature of my makeup, which was overdone, and the nature of my clothing, which was very like goth girl, I attracted a lot of attention, and a lot of people stared and gave weird looks, and I tried my best to ignore it. I remember going into an ice cream shop, and I sat down, and I felt exposed because there was really bright lights, and we were sat down on a very small waiting bench, and another mom comes in and with her son, and the son looks at me and then says quite loudly, "Mommy, what is that?" while pointing to me, and she shushes him and says, "I'll tell you later, sweetie." Like, oh, it was terrible. At that point, I wanted to go home. They wanted to go, Susan and Chelsea wanted to go out more places, and we went to a few, but I'm like, I'm not having fun, I'm miserable, I want to go home, so we did. And that was my first time presenting, and I didn't really go out in public dressed up for another 14 plus years. But now I'm doing it full time. And it's memories like those where you just think back, and you have to give yourself a pat on the back, like, wow, I've come a long way, I've grown. I've become more confident and comfortable with who I am and expressing myself in so many ways. So that brings me to the second story, which is very short. I was shopping, of course. I'm presenting full-time now. Yay! I was shopping at a large grocery store, and there's an aisle, and the mom was like getting juice or eggs or something, and the little girl was in the middle of the aisle, kind of like playing around, twirling around. Such a cute little girl, and I was just patiently waiting there because I had to, you know, cross them. You'll see why. So the mother finally takes notice of me. It's like, "Oh, sweetie, please step aside. She's trying to pass. She's trying to pass." I'm not gonna explain that joke to you. It's just a funny one. I laughed so hard. I turned back to her as I passed, and I said, "In more ways than one," and she didn't really get it, but I got it, and that was my funny little story. Alright, that's all for now. I wish you a wonderful, splendiferous, fantabulous day. This is Jaina signing off. See you next time. Bye.